Yeah, hello and welcome to another update video on silver. Shocking developments on the silver price chart for many. This is basically unprecedented. We've seen here a 38% decline for silver. If we look at the daily candle that occurred, if we measure just that daily candle, this was, pretty much 37%. Was this surprising? I gotta say, for a lot of people, it was. For us here, hopefully not. I was very specific on this, and I mentioned it in many of the videos over the last few days, that we are looking for a blow-off top. The problem is, when it happens, it can happen extremely quickly. And the reason is, and a lot of people don't understand this, the reason is, or didn't, the move to the upside that we were tracking there internally, the internal structure was a diagonal pattern, right? So this C wave was an ending diagonal. Wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, both possible interpretations. When a diagonal pattern finishes, it can happen very, very quickly. That's what I always say in my educational videos on diagonals or just the Elliott Wave structures explained. Is one of the basic guidelines. It's not an absolute rule, but it's a guideline. So I sincerely hope that the statements I've made over the last few days to be cautious, that a blow-off top could happen at any time, that things can turn around very quickly, that they were helpful. I know that a lot of people probably got burned by this, unfortunately. That is what always happens, because analysis can only do so much, right? Execution is much harder and much more individual as well, because this is where mindset then comes into place as well, like psychology and everything. But anyway, all we can do is highlight the main risk levels on the chart. That a pullback of around 37-38% was expected, was obviously made clear on the chart by this support area, which has now been reached. So we've now reached the first, you could say, normal support area. There is no guarantee from here to move higher. It is possible that a much greater top is already in. And if you watched the last long-term update on silver last weekend, then you will be aware that the correction could extend a little further. So we will talk about that probably tomorrow or later today. I will release a separate long-term video. Just want to have a little bit more time to take a look into the larger time frame structures, to see if there are any changes. I don't think there are, but just need some more time. When I release a video, even though it's completely free here, I still want to have it at a high standard. What I wanted to do here is, just in addition to just the volatility, talk a little bit about the structure here and the levels and what can be expected next week. We need to adjust resistance to the last swing low. So this is our standard resistance area. I will add the 88.7 retracement. The idea is, apologies, that the decline is the A wave, probably just the A wave of a larger correction. I mean, the thing is, this is a pullback exactly into support, exactly to the 50% retracement. It is technically possible that this entire wave 4 is already over. I shared with you guys yesterday in the previous video the idea that next week we should see a bounce. Whatever that bounce is, obviously, is too early to say. When things move so quickly, it is unfortunately the case that you don't really have much time, or you don't really have much opportunity to look into the microstructures, because it is very clear that we've hit the next support area. And from a support area, we're normally watching for a bounce, and especially if the price got into oversold territory. Now, As you can see on the daily chart, not, but the 4-hour time frame is oversold. So I'd say at very least we should see a wave B bounce. Yeah, that could lead to a recovery, maybe close to $100, which is the golden ratio level now, and then a C wave decline. This would be a wider ABC structure. That means it will really depend on the structure of the next bounce. If it's only a 3-wave bounce, then we will likely see a rejection from this area. And we will probably be able to see it based on the structure that develops next week. I mean, that's my view at the moment, that we will likely see a bounce. Obviously, a bounce already started. I mean, from the low, we already recovered 16%. So, I mean, I posted that yesterday on Discord, right, with the bounce, that the bounce already unfolded. It is what it is. I mean, 16%, it doesn't seem much here, but it is 16%, yeah, from the low. That is already a bounce. But it happened, again, it happened so quickly. Sorry, 15%, yeah. It happened so quickly that it's just difficult also to identify microstructures. But this is our support area, yeah, and the price tested it, and we started the bounce. Resistance starts at $89.45. Then we've got $94.87, $100.62, $109, and $115. If we obviously blast through resistance, another high could be coming. $170, that's a level from the larger time frame, could be the next larger degree upside target. If we get this ABC structure and then even break support, or the next rally afterwards is also only corrective, then the orange scenario will likely send us lower. I'm not sure if we get that additional ABC structure here. So that is something that we will have to navigate as we go along. For now, it is clear, and it became clear already early yesterday at some point, that a top is in. The thing is just, it happened so quickly. Yeah, that's a development that normally takes weeks. Yeah, it all happened in a day. So it is a difficult structure. I even mentioned in yesterday's video, in the first video yesterday, that we will likely get another low because the structure didn't look quite complete to the downside. It happened, but that was not just that. Well, it happened much faster, right? Then I thought what I was looking for was this A, B, C, and I wanted to see 1, 2, 3. And yesterday's video I made here, and I said, okay, one more low to give us 5 waves in the C wave. But that was not the 5th wave. That was something that was a little bit more aggressive and direct. But yeah, I mean, it is a 3-wave decline. It is not worth looking into microstructures here, I can tell you that, because a lot of the microwaves will be hidden inside those liquidation candles. All right, so that's not useful. It is, to me, though, a 3-wave decline. So best I could do here, I would label this, for example, probably as a WXY structure, but it is not worth doing, to be honest. So we've seen a bounce. The first bounce is likely going to be the A wave off circle B. Then there could be a B wave pullback and a C wave up. If we really see all these structures, we'll have to see. This is just a model, guys. The levels are more important than the labels. So that means next week we have to pay very close attention to the microstructures in this advance. The faster something happens, the less relevant the microstructures become. The levels are clear, the support area is clear, and I will share with you guys a long-term outlook probably tomorrow or later today, in which you will see the long-term support area, because this is still a support area on the 1-hour time frame, the 1-hour chart. The first normal support area has now been reached, yeah, and there is a larger degree support area on the larger time frame, which is even more meaningful. That's the update on silver. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you're interested in additional updates, then check out our membership. There's a stocks membership that we offer where I also cover daily, even intraday, gold and silver. There are also some gold and silver miners. You get additional updates on those, and you get updates even before videos are released here on YouTube. plus obviously the S&P 500, the Nasdaq, regular stocks updates, and much more. I put the links into the comment section. You also get, by the way, in the higher tiers, access to my TradingView live chart. That means whenever I make a change, you can actually see it live. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.